The unique characteristic of post-traumatic stress disorder is that the individual has been in a military unit and surrounded by brothers and sisters of arms. And that in that enclosed society, they have a great deal of strength. When they return home to civilian life, their spouse and their children have not been a part of that inner circle. And that starts to unravel some of the pain that they experience. They're not sure what you mean when you say this, nor are you sure what they mean when they say that. And my experience with that population is it can rapidly dissolve a relationship. The tension between not being able to sleep at night, being on pins and needles, having these dreams, having night sweats, having fears of anxiety. Again, when you have depression, and this very often the number one symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder is depression. When you have depression, you lose those two qualities that are so necessary for a balanced life. One, problem-solving ability. The second, creativity. There is no creative solution that you can think of, and there is no problem-solving that you can think of. Therefore, you feel that you're trapped. And when people get trapped, unfortunately, one of the end results of that is suicide. And as we know today, with the wars that we've participated in the last 10 years, including Afghanistan, that we have now lost more soldiers due to suicide than we have in the wars in 11 years. Approximately one soldier, man or woman, every day in the United States commits suicide because they're unable to adjust to civilian life. And, I can't imagine anything more terrifying to a loved one than saying my spouse, my husband, my uncle, my grandfather, my father came back from war and then after surviving all that decided to take their own life. It just doesn't add up and it just doesn't balance out. But if your only approach to dealing with that disorder is the 50-minute hour, even if it's more than once a week, your biggest problem will be, is the person that I'm talking to really understand my pain? Have they ever been there? Have they ever been shot at? Well, I have, as a hostage negotiator, on several occasions. I do understand what it's like when you're pinned down behind a tree and somebody's got a sniper rifle and he's shooting at you. I've been there. Now, that's not going to explore all or explain all circumstances that you encountered, but we at least have something in common that we can start from and build on. And when I talk to my veterans, and we both talk about our first experience of being shot at, and it sounds pretty darn close to both being scared, out of our lives, it does bring us a mutual understanding and respect, which I think is essential to good working with service people, that you respect each other going in. You're not going to take somebody that's been a part of a military team for 13 months and introduce them to a stranger in a really nice office, in a really nice chair, wearing really nice clothes, and say, you guys have a lot in common, because his experience is probably still stuck in Afghanistan or Kuwait, and he's still thinking of the dust storms and the spiders and the snakes and the horrible food and blah, blah, blah. And here you are, tell him, oh, I get everything you say. It's not going to happen. All the things that I talk about take time. It's just like all the problems that come to me in either one of two ways. They're like this, and I have to pry them apart to understand them, or they're like this, and I have to pull the threads together to understand them. With working with people, there's no shortcuts. It's just quality time that you spend with each other, and that's why the most severe cases, I refuse to submit to the 50-minute hour. Find a way to help quell the inner demons and put them onto the right approaches of civilian life that'll lead them to the same kind of discipline that brought them success in the military.